We've waited until the last minute again. This time it's the end of the term, so all the TechNet terminals in the dorm are occupied. So off we go to the old computer center. Too bad it's the worst storm of the winter. Murphy's Law, right? And we practically froze to death slogging over here from the dorm. Not to mention jumping at every shadow. What with all the recent disappearances. Time to get to work on our paper. We're now in the terminal room. This is a large room crammed with computer terminals, small computers, and printers. An exit leads south. Banners, posters, and signs festoon the walls. Most of the tables are covered with waste paper, old pizza boxes, and empty Coke cans. There are usually a lot of people here, but tonight it's almost deserted. A really whiz-bang PC is right inside the door. Nearby is one of those ugly molded plastic chairs. Sitting at a terminal is a hacker whom we recognize. The first was in the terminal room. We try to read the signs. We don't see anything special about them, so we turn on the computer. The computer powers up, goes through a remarkably fast self-check, and greets us, requesting login please. The only sound we hear is a very low hum. We type our login number that we found on a card, our identification card. The computer responds, password please. We then type in our password, which we had written down in our notebook. The computer responds, good evening, you're here awfully late. It displays a list of pending tasks, one of which is in blinking red letters, with large arrows pointing to it. The task reads classics paper. Some particularly ominous words next to it say due tomorrow, and more reassuringly, a menu box next to that reads edit classics paper. We then edit the classics paper. The menu box is replaced by the Yak text editor and menu boxes listing the titles of our files. The one for our paper is highlighted in a rather urgent-looking shade of red. We then edit the classics paper. We click the box for our paper, and the box grows reassuringly until it fills most of the screen. We then click the box. We read the classics paper. The paper appears to be a facsimile overlaid with occasional typescript. The text is mostly in a sort of old English we've never seen before. What we read is a combination of incomprehensible gibberish, Latin pseudo-words, debased Hebrew, and Arabic scripts, and an occasional disquieting phrase in English. As we look at it more closely, we find it hard to focus on the screen, but impossible to look away. Our finger strays toward the More box. We click the More box. We touch the More box, and a new page appears. The second page is much like the first, but around the edges, not when we look at it, we see words about summoning and visiting. We click the More box. A new page appears. The third page is in the same script as the first, but laid out like a poem. There are woodcut illustrations which are queasily disturbing. There's a translation or notes for one, typed between the lines of the poem. He returns, he's called back. The loyal ones, acolytes, make a sacrifice. Those who survive will meet him, be absorbed, eaten. They shall live yet die. Forever shall be is nothing to them. To him, his place, lair, burrow must be prepared. His food, offerings must be prepared. Call him forth, invite him with great power. Only an acceptable, tasteful sacrifice will call him forth. He will be grateful, satiated. The rest is even more fragmentary. We then click the More box. A new page appears. The fourth page is a photograph. We try to recoil from the screen, but cannot. Fascinated and repelled at the same time, we wonder, is that a mouth and what is in it? We click the More box. A new page appears. We faint, and when we awaken, we're in a place. Here things move about on a broken rocky surface. Harsh sounds split the air. Something sticky grabs at our feet. There's no color, everything's drained of brightness, dull and lifeless. A path descends into a shallow bowl of black basalt. We go down into the basalt bowl. We're now at the bottom of a deeply cut, smooth basalt bowl. Dimly seen shapes crowd us on all sides. Ahead, and the focus of the movement is a rock platform. We go to the platform. At the platform, we stand before a low rock platform, more like an afterthought of piled rocks or glacial moraine than a work of artifice. We're pushed against the pile by the crowd about us. One small stone stands out on the pile, smooth, shiny, and glowing with a blazing light. We take the stone. Suddenly the dimness becomes darkness, and the crowd about us explodes with excitement. We're jostled and shoved from all sides. A low keening begins, building into a deafening, almost mechanical chant. The darkness before us compacts and deepens. We wait. Time passes. The darkness before us, now visible, is a creature. It towers over the now silent crowd. The thing jerks this way and that, spraying a foul ichor. Its palps twitch expectantly, then pound impatiently against the rock. We can feel the smooth stone vibrating in our hand. We then look at the stone. It's a smooth, shiny piece of what might be obsidian. Scratched on it is a symbol. The thing now turns, sensing the presence of the stone. It quests on us blindly for it. Then those surrounding us thrust us forward. The thing stoops, its mandibles grasping us. We're lifted towards its gaping maw. The stench and the sounds issuing from it overwhelming, and we fall unconscious. We're wakened by the thump of our head hitting the terminal in front of us. Falling asleep over term papers. It must have been a nightmare. Embarrassed, we glance about. Yes, the hacker's looking in our direction. He must have heard the thump. Terminal room on the chair. We see the familiar computer before us. And we also see sitting in a terminal that same hacker. We wait. The hacker wanders over, trying to look nonchalant as he takes over our chair. Losing, huh? He asks wittily. He glances at our terminal, which displays a pattern of snow and unusual characters. He appears somewhat excited. We turn towards the hacker and ask him about the paper. I'm looking at it, he says. Be patient. This isn't some little micro. We're on a hairy OS on a hairy net. The hacker, mumbling under his breath, begins a flurry of activity. First the screen returns to something nearly normal, then windows begin popping up like toadstools after rain. The screen looks a lot like the top of his terminal table, or the bottom of a trash can. As we sit in our chair, we watch the hacker doing these things. The hacker is sitting at our terminal, typing furiously. Every so often he pauses briefly and twirls a lock of his hair. He's also humming under his breath. He's dressed in blue jeans, an old work shirt, and what might once have been running shoes. Hanging from his belt is an enormous ring of keys. He's in need of a bath. The hacker types furiously, and the screen displays what to us looks like an explosion in a teletype factory. After a while, he says, "Charming file system, your directory has gone seriously west. I fixed it." He checks the screen. It is mixed up on the file server with some files from the Department of Alchemy. He grunts. People's names for the nodes are getting weird. This one is called Lovecraft. He pauses. Your paper's gone, though. Sorry. Maybe I could help you down there. Our paper is gone. We ask the hacker about alchemy. The hacker studiously ignores us, loath to admit there's something he does not know about. The hacker wanders back to his terminal and returns to his hacking. We ask him for help. He says, I already looked at it. The bug's fixed in the sources. Your paper's gone. Unless those alchemy chompers have a copy. We ponder upon the words that we've heard. Our paper's gone, and our only recourse now may be to go, perhaps to the alchemy department, where they may know more about the the disordering of our paper, or the loss of it. We asked the hacker about the keys on his belt. I've accumulated a few keys over the years, he says. I'm a licensed locksmith, which helps. I can get it at any room at the tech. He pulls the keyring out on its chain and shows off a key we hadn't seen before. This is a master key, he says. We asked the hacker about the master key. That's one of my best keys. It's a tech master key. Not that it really opens every door at tech, but I'd say 3 out of 5 at least. Naturally, some labs are off limits even to this key. We look about us. It's the familiar terminal room. Yet we think now it's time for us to leave. We've nothing more to say to the hacker. Our paper is gone. We must either now return to our dormitory or... We're on the second floor of the computer center. An elevator and call buttons are on the south side of the hallway. A large noisy room is to the north. Stairs also lead up and down, but for the energetic. To the west, a corridor leads into a smaller room. We go west. Kitchen. This is a filthy kitchen. The exit's to the east. On the wall near a counter are a refrigerator and a microwave. Sitting on the kitchen counter is a package of funny bones. We go east. We're on the second floor again, in the familiar room. Now at this point we either have to go back to our dormitories, or perhaps to the Department of Alchemy. We're not yet sure, and no doubt there's also a blizzard, so we go up the stairs to the third floor. This is the third floor of the computer center. An elevator and a call button are on the south side of the hallway. Stairs also lead down for the energetic. To the north is a glass wall beyond which we can see a computer room crammed with computer equipment. A stairway goes up. The glass draws our attention towards it. We'd like to investigate that room, yet there's a glass wall in the way. Well, complicating our future designs would no doubt be the blizzard. There's snow everywhere, it's freezing cold, and it's nighttime, making it even colder. So we'll need to do something. We're in a predicament. Our classics paper is very important towards us. In any case, we now go up the stairs. We push the door to the roof. We enter the freezing, biting cold of the blizzard. We're on the roof. This is the roof of the computer center. A door leads to the stairway. The roof's covered with tarred pea gravel and drifted snow. The wind howls about our ears. To the south and southeast, we can dimly see the looming shapes of the great dome and the brown building. We go down, third floor, second floor, and at last the computer center lobby. An elevator and call buttons are to the south. Stairs also lead up and down from the energetic. To the north is Smith Street. We attempt to push the call button, choosing the down arrow. The elevator doors slide open. We go in the elevator. This is a battered, rather dirty elevator. The fake wood walls are scratched and marred with graffiti. The elevator doors are open. To the right of the doors is an area with floor buttons, being 1 through 3. An open button, a close button, a stop switch, an alarm button. Below these is an access panel, which is closed. We look at the panel. This panel presumably opens to access the engine maintenance controls of the elevator. The elevator doors slide closed. We open the panel. Opening the access panel reveals a flashlight. We take the flashlight and close the panel. We took the flashlight because we think it might be of some use. We're in a dark and cold place, and we might like to take some measures for the retrieval of our term, or our classics paper, if we could find the Department of Alchemy. So we know what's up. Second floor, third floor, and the roof. We've already been there. But we haven't been down. There's a button for the basement. We press that. The button for the basement begins to glow. Time passes. The elevator begins to move downward. Time passes. The elevator slows and comes to a stop. The button for the basement blinks off. We push open the button. The doors spring open. We're now coming near the basement. We're in the basement. Bare concrete walls line a wide corridor leading east and west. An elevator and call button are to the south. Stairs also lead up for the energetic. From floor to ceiling run wire channels and steam pipes. The elevator doors were open, yet they've now slid closed. And we ponder our next course.